Right, hello, this is going to be about Aggregate SQL, and just quickly show you some of the marks you get for complexity in your coursework. It does include Aggregate SQL, but the things that are not difficult to do, especially if you use Server Explorer. Right, okay, so let's crack on back to Visual Studio then. So you want to make sure that you've got Server Explorer there. Make sure it's connected to your database. Okay, remember, it's not persistent with the program. So if you take it home, you'll have to just do another connection. All right, so it's not always going to be there. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start a new query here. So right click on tables, new query. I'm just going to do late for now. I'll do another one later. And I just want to know the average of the minutes late. A pointless activity, true, but still. Okay, so you can see there I've got 24 records there. So I could just loop through those and add them up, divided by how many there are. So I could use some code, like I've got in the student repository here. There we go, I've got like get students, so I could just do select from, and that loop there, using a reader, I could just read the value for the late, add it to a total, and then after the loop, divide it by how many there were. I need a counter as well. Okay, so I could do that, but an easier way would be to just get the SQL to work out the average. Now to do that, what you have to do is click on the group by there, add group by, and then that changes that. You get a group by here, and you can see it's changed the SQL as well. So just where it says group by next to mins late on that row, you select average. So now if I execute the SQL, it just comes back with 31.75. So I still execute the SQL. So I go back to my code here, that will be the SQL in there. And then I still need a reader, but it's only going to loop round once. And I just read the value straight back from that one individual field. And then that's it. So it's easy as that. So that's how you can do the average. Now, the other one we might want to do is min or max. So we could also do that, and we use that to find out the highest ID in a table. So let's change this to get late ID in here. Okay, then I'll just get rid of that on the average, just make that group by again. And then I'll just do max late ID, see what the biggest one is. So I know what was the last record I just created, what was the ID. So let's execute that again. And okay, let's get rid of mins late. So I didn't like that. Okay, let's try it again and execute. Okay, let's get rid of it from here. This isn't going well. So I've got late ID. Oh, Jesus. Let's just delete that completely. Start it again. So I'm just going to do add table, add late, close. I'm going to do late ID. There we go. I'm going to change that to max. So hopefully execute that. There we go. So 81 was the highest one in there, and I can change that to min as well. Okay, so that's your max and min. Now the other thing I'm just going to remove everything because that's not liking that. So let's get rid of that. Right, okay. So now we're going to do another one. So let's do add. I'm going to delete this query completely. I feel like it's going to cock up again. So let's go new query. This time we're going to do the count. So let's do student and late this time. And I want first name, last name, and I'll just have date of late. Okay. So if I execute that, you can see I've got a lot of students there with this there. Got many lates. Roger Twiglet there, you can see he's got quite a few there. Now, So what we could do is get it to count how many lates a student's done. So again, we do the same thing as we did before. We click on add group by. Now we just want it to count the date of the late. So we're just going to click on group by on date of late and click on count. Okay, now there's the SQL. Now that's pretty nasty SQL, to be honest. You wouldn't really want to write that if you could, especially if it's got a filter as well. So let's just execute that. And you can see now people only turning up once, but it's telling us how many lates they've got there as well. Now, if you wanted to put a filter on that, so let's put in student ID, and I'm going to say filter. I'm just going to say question mark there. So click off that, and you can see instead of where, you have a having instead, which is crazy. So if I execute that now, it's going to ask me for student ID, and I don't know one, so I'm going to assume 10. Let's try 10. Click OK. There isn't one with 10. Brilliant. Okay, but if there was, it would have come back there. Okay, if I just get rid of the filter, we can see what there would have been. So it gets rid of the having, execute. Okay, no, Roger Twiglet is in twice. Brilliant. So you can see that would have worked. So if I put the filter back in now, I'll just do 2. Execute the SQL, put the value 2, and John's, and 6 lates. Okay, so there we go. So there's your aggregate SQL. So that would be copied into a function here that would return a list. So a bit like this one here. So I've got a parameter there, and then I will specify what the parameter is that will be sent into the function. Okay, that's it. So hopefully that can sort you out. Bye-bye.